Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Morez Jr. And today we got a special guest. We got an amateur boxer, soon to be pro boxer, Emiliano Gandara. How's it going, Emiliano?
Good, good. How's it going?
Good. Thank you so much for
Glad
making the
to be
time.
here. Nice.
Likewise. First question we got for you. I'm sure you get asked this all the time, and we'll continue to get asked this question. And it's, how did you get into boxing?
Man, it all started when I was 8 years old, or no, not even then, like six, five. I used to watch uh Manny Pacquiao and Marquez fight all the time.
Nice.
Um, my family was, those casual boxers, but that they like to watch those Mexican boxers fight. So when Marquez and Manny Pacquiao would fight, man, everybody would come over to the house and we all be in the TV watching the fight. And I always used to go for Manny Pacquiao, and everyone else was going for Marquez. And I think that was the first step into me, loving the sport. And after that, man, you know, I saw a gym one day, and I told my dad, "Hey, look, Dad, that's a boxing gym. Can I go?" And after that, and that's I never stopped going to the gym again. As I came back and I came back, and with consistency and dedication, I'm making it took a lot of steps to come here, but that's how I started boxing.
Nice. And yeah, those Pacquiao Marquez fights were all classics. I gotta
Yeah.
ask you, since you were the only one going for Pacquiao, how was the household on the very last fight when Marquez got that KO?
Man, everybody was so happy, and I was like, no, man, I was crying, I was sad that my idol was had lost, but yeah,
Definitely, I
great
remember that.
memories.
Yeah. And then Emiliano, is there any nicknames that you're known by?
I'm known by my family and my boxing coaches, and just a few people know me as El Goy, and that's because I got that nickname from my uncle, my dad's brother. I used to call you Koi, and after that it just became like my name. It was like Goy, and so that's what they call me. Everybody calls me Goy.
That makes sense. Yeah, I saw it printed on one of your t-shirts merch runs. So I was like, I think that's probably the
Yeah,
nickname.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Nice. And then Emiliano, can you tell us about your amateur career? What have been some of your major accomplishments?
Well, I mean, I've been a Golden Glove champion. I've been a uh Silver Glove state runner-up. I mean, but the most successful or the most meaningful accomplishments was being a one-time national champion over here in the U.S. and winning two national champions over there in Mexico. So I'm a national champion in two countries, and these happened recently. I mean, this happened 2021, 2022 was in Mexico, and 2023 was here in the US.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I don't think many can say that they're, champions in two countries.
Yeah, yeah, it's everything is different, fighting over here and in the US is different from fighting in Mexico.
Absolutely. And then Emiliano, who would you say has been your toughest opponent you face in amateurs?
Oh, my toughest opponent, um, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if there's been like a tough guy that has been hard to fight, but I've been able to fight great um amateur boxers who have, outstanding amateur careers, and probably one of them would be Ben Johnson, but other than that, I don't think I have one of the toughest fights. I would say this, Mexico fighters are the toughest though. They are, you know, they fit into the Mexican boxing style. They just want to go in and bang. So all they do is come forward and just throw punches. So
It's,
that,
it's like
yeah,
it's like I say, they're all gas, no brakes. They come right at you.
yeah, exactly.
And then, speaking of kind of great talent, you're training out of the RGBA. What's the
hmm
atmosphere and what's it like training with so many great pros out of that gym?
Oh man, it's it kind of humbles you, and it shows you what real great boxers are, and you know, I mean, you sit, you sleep, eat, and train with them. At the same time, we're staying at the camp house, and you have big boxing names that they're here, and we're all here for the same reason, for boxing. We want to create a legacy, and you know, it shows you what type of level you're at, and it feels good. It feels good to know that I'm part of it as well. And so I'm just I'm here, and I'm ready to make my statement as well. And I'm ready to be able to be in this boxing and become a star. I'm
Yeah,
so ready.
just adding to the talent pool gets
Yes.
deeper. How do people react when they find out you're a boxer for the first time?
Usually they say, man, I got a baby face, so they usually don't say much, but then like, wow, you're a boxer? How's that? And the first question is always, are you a Golden Glove champ? And so, yeah, and or sometimes is are your hands registered and stuff like that type of questions.
Funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't usually get much out of it, but yeah, usually people tell that I'm real fit, and I got a little six pack or something.
Nice. And as we mentioned in your intro, you're soon to make your pro debut, scheduled for January 6th in Las Vegas on the Ortiz Lawson card. What are your emotions heading into your pro debut?
I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. From my coach Hector Beltran and Virgil Ortiz Sr. Um, um, I'm very very excited. Not nervous, but excited to make this big or take this big step into the pro career. And I'm just the I'm trying to go in with the mentality that um I'm ready. I'm ready for this, and I've been ready for a while, and that I want to knock this guy's head out.
Absolutely. Almost time. We're at 8 days away.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I also saw on your Instagram, you've actually sparred Virgil Ortiz, back in
Yes.
November 2020. So how does it feel to be fighting, under one of his cars just 3 years later?
Yeah, man. Actually, I don't post him that often, but we spar all the time. Sometimes there was times where we sparred 2 weeks straight, just sparring every day. And so, um, and it's great that from a person I look up to, and he's like a role model to not only me but to the rest of my team behind us, because there's other kids that train with us. It's Hector Beltran, Carlos Martinez, Figo Ramirez, and they're great amateur boxers as well, and which one is a pro boxer now. But he's a great role model. He kind of does everything the right way, and so that's how I strive to be. And if, I feel glad that I met him a long time ago. I think it was 2016, and I met him at one of the fights, and I was young. I was 12 years old, and you know, and the pieces fell together, and we started training together, and he watched me grow up, and now I'm part of his undercard. And it's a decision his dad made, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm ready to take it, and I'm ready to showcase my skills to everyone in the world.
That's an awesome story. It's like everything just kind of came full circle.
Yeah, it did.
Awesome. And then has your opponent been picked out for your upcoming fight? If yes, what can you tell us about him?
Um, I think yes. I'm not sure. There's been many opponents that come in and fall out, but uh, I think my opponent is from Mission, Texas. So I think he's 1-1. So not much. There's not much history behind him. So I'm ready to go in for whatever. I'm ready. So I'm just ready to get it over with and put those small gloves in now and no headgear and um take it on.
Absolutely. And then if it was up to you, how many fights would you like to have in 2024?
I would like to have like around 4 to 6 fights, you
Nice.
know. Yeah, but also, I mean, I'm just trying to get my pro career started, so it all depends on my coaches, but 4 to 6 would be my goal.
Yeah, you want to stay active, get that experience.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Especially since we're starting so early in the year, so we have plenty of time for the rest of 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Emiliano, out of all the places that you visited because of boxing, which has been your favorite and why?
I think it has to be Utah. Utah is probably one of the most prettiest sceneries you could have. We went there during December. It was it was a national tournament, and so it was snowing, and the scenery is just so beautiful. You have mountains and forests around you. It's just real nice. I like it's you have sort of a calmer sense, and it's peaceful.
Absolutely. And then what would be your dream venue to headline one day?
Probably either the MGM or the Madison Square Garden. I really want to fight in those arenas. That's where history has been made from many boxers. So I want to be part of that too.
Yeah, some iconic venues, both of them.
Yes.
And then now switching gears to kind of dream opponents, is there a fighter in mind that you want to share the ring with in the future?
Um, you know, I wanna I wanna be able to get in with it's funny as that, but like someone like Canelo or Earl Spence. They're gonna be up there in my weight as well. Or I really wanna be able to be in the ring with them, and share the ring and fight as well.
That would be amazing, definitely.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, who's been the hardest puncher you've been in the ring with, either in sparring or in one of your fights?
Oh man, Virgil.
Virgil.
He hits like a truck, man. I'll tell you, nobody's hit that hard like Virgil. Virgil, it's not that his punches like sting or anything. It's like you feel him through your whole body, and you feel him the next day as well. But man, I think he's one of the hardest hitting guys I've ever sparred, and even with 16s, and he's so quick. People don't realize it, but he's lightning quick. Sometimes you don't even see his jabs, so that's that's he shows you a lot of things that you're gonna need in the future, like for a fight or something, like all the small techniques. And it's really the small details he shows you that are real impressive, and how to move, how to move a fighter and send him to the right punch, and he knows how to load or place his punches, which make more damage than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Virgil, I think it doesn't he have like 100% KO ratio, if not
Yeah,
pretty
he's
pretty
nine.
close.
Yeah, 19 wins and 19 knockouts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Perfect. So he can bang. And I also saw that thing you started with the Rayo, and we saw that KO he had with Colbert. You know,
Oh yeah,
what were your thoughts
yeah,
on
man.
that KO in the rematch?
You know that he had it. The first fight. I thought he won. I thought he
Mhm.
won. So I'm glad he kind of got his revenge, and that probably one knockout of the year, man. It's up there. It was spectacular, and I'm glad he got him out of the way. But you know, um, he does have some pop into him. He's real. Here in the camp house, he's real quiet. And he keeps him to himself. But during fight night, man, you see him, you see him change.
Yeah, no, and I think he is going to be the knockout of the year. We actually nominated him for our knockout of the year award, and he's currently leading in the
Uh,
polls. So I think he's going to win it.
yeah, yeah, man.
And then who was your kind of your favorite boxer growing up?
Like I said, I used to watch Manny Pacquiao, and I used to go for him. So and he was a lefty, so that he was my role model. I've always said that he was. he was a boxer who made me start boxing. So that's a person who I looked up to, and plus, the person he is as well. He's a real kind person. He trains real hard. He's accomplished so much in in his career. So that's one of my idols.
Definitely. And then present day, who do you consider to be the number one pound for pound fighter today?
I would want to say Inoue, man. Inoue is a great fighter, and even though he's small, he carries a big punch and he's heavy-handed.
Yeah, great answer there. And now for the next segment, I want to ask you about some, potential matchups or confirmed matchups. And I want kind of your opinion on them, who you think would win. If they're too close to call, you can just kind of say 50-50 or also just pass on them.
Okay.
All right. The first one I want to ask you about is Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
Oh man, yeah, that one's. I want to say Haney, but you know, it's also 50-50. Um, but uh, man, I really don't like Henny, but I gotta say Henny.
I mean, they're 3-3 in the amateurs, so this is going to be the kind of
Yeah,
the tiebreaker, and it looks like it might happen. I've been seeing a lot of back and forth on
yeah.
Twitter recently, so we'll see. This next one, I don't know if we'll still get it. It's Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Oh man. Well, the way Wilder performed the other day, probably Anthony, but you can't take away the power that Wilder carries as well. But I mean, probably Anthony, yeah, since his last performance he didn't look too good.
Yeah, and I mean, if Wilder still has that punch, it only takes one shot, right?
Yeah.
Next one I'll ask you about. This one's kind of been kind of rumored, but not really. But it's Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford at 168.
Oh yeah. Uh, I gotta go with Canelo. Um, I mean Crawford is he's a real good boxer. He's real skilled, but I gotta go with Canelo.
Weight classes are for there for a reason.
Yeah.
And then the last one I want to ask you about is Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus El Gallo Juan Francisco Estrada.
Oh man, that's a great fight. I want to see that happen, and Bam takes it to him. I think Bam is he has everything that it takes to beat El Gallo. So, you know, I I think Bam.
Hope we see it. I know Bam wants it. He called him after the fight,
Yeah,
so hope we get it.
he wanted it. It was funny hearing Robert say right before he got the win with Sonny, he was like, a guy who was right there. You're gonna after this fight, you're gonna call him out. But he was still fighting, so that was funny. It was a great moment in the fight.
Yeah, definitely a great moment. Coming back to you, Emiliano, what are some things you like to do outside of boxing? Some of your interests and hobbies?
Well, I like to play the piano. I used to play piano when I was 10 years old. So I brought it all the way to I was in high school. I used to play for a jazz band, so I've been playing piano for a long time. And I used to play the trumpet as well. So I like to play music and for free time. But I'm also a full-time student in a college, UTA, University of Texas at Arlington. And so also school takes a big part of my time. So it's just, school or boxing is school. I go gym in the morning and school at night. So, whenever I have free time, I squeeze in and play piano 30 minutes, an hour. And then, or if not, I just go and play some Fortnite.
Well, kudos to you for balancing so many things at once. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then, man, are you signed with any promoter at this time, or are you still a free agent?
No, yeah, I'm a free agent.
Agent.
Uh, I have no one to sign me yet, but I'm looking forward for that time to come and, be able to bring me up to big spotlights.
I'm gonna use my crystal ball and say after your fight this upcoming Saturday, it's gonna be some calls.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
And then, Emiliano, what do your Texas roots mean to you?
What do you mean by that?
Because aren't you from Texas originally?
Yes, yes.
So like, what does it mean for you to like now you're going to be representing Texas in boxing, following the footsteps of like Ortiz and Spence and many great fighters from Texas?
Yeah. You know, it feels good. I have a lot of people from Texas that know me, especially the boxing community knows me a lot over there. And you know, I feel like we'll be able to they would be able to, um, how do I say it? They would be able to become fans of me and my style of boxing. I'm I'm a pressure fighter. I like to fight in the inside as well. So I'm real good with people too. I usually know how to talk to people. I'm very sociable. So I think I'd be able to come around with them and have a good experience with the fans and the people in Texas.
Well said. For the next question, what's the best piece of advice you would give someone who's thinking about going pro and making a career out of boxing?
Oh man, that's hard, but there's a lot of things. I would just tell them, the work on technique a lot, because all the small details are very important, whether you like it or not. It could be it could be a quick punch that puts the lights out, or have not having your hands down. So yeah, could mean the fight. Any punch can mean the fight. So working on the small details is what you need to focus on if you wanna turn pro and make a living out of boxing. It takes a lot of patience and time. So I think that's what you require to to, to be a professional boxer and fight and make a living out of boxing.
Great
Because
advice.
I mean you can go so much with being hit in the head. So you need you need your head too to be safe in boxing and stuff.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better myself. Final question we got for you, Emiliano. It's not really a question. It's more so now opening up the floor to you. What's a message you want to send to your fans and supporters?
Oh man, well, I'm coming January 6th in Las Vegas in the Virgin Hotel theater. So, I'm ready. I'm ready to take it on and I'm ready to make my statement on that Saturday night under the bright lights. So all the hard work has paid off and I'm ready to put it on the show.
Definitely. We'll be tuning in. Emiliano, thank you so much for this interview. We really appreciate your time. We know you're busy. You're not preparing for your pro debut, and we can't wait to hear the want to know winner, Emiliano.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right, bye.